Hi, fellow investigators. Welcome back to our channel, Blackroom Investigations. Let's begin with our case. In May 2008, a brutal double murder inside a quiet, gated apartment complex in Noida would shock India and permanently alter the lives of everyone involved. What began as the killing of a 13-year-old schoolgirl soon spiraled into one of the most controversial criminal investigations in Indian history, marked by media trials, investigative failures, contradictory theories, and a justice system that appeared to contradict itself. 14 years later, despite multiple arrests, confessions, retractions, and acquittals, the murders of Aarushi Talwar and Hemraj Banjade remain officially unsolved. This is the complete story of the Aarushi Hemraj murder case. Chapter 1. Who was Aarushi Talwar? Aarushi Talwar was 13 years old. By almost all accounts, she was a bright, confident, and outgoing student at a reputed Delhi public school. She was academically strong, socially active, and deeply interested in photography. Friends described her as lively and creative. Her parents, Rajesh and Nupur Talwar, were both well-known dental surgeons in Delhi. Rajesh and Nupur met during medical school and married in 1989 despite coming from different ethnic backgrounds. Over the next decade, both completed postgraduate degrees in dentistry and established successful private clinics, one in Hauskas, Delhi, and another in Sector 27, Noida. Aarushi was born on May 24, 1994, their first and only child. Due to work commitments, the family eventually moved from Delhi to Noida, settling into a 1300 square foot apartment in Jalvayu Vihar, Sector 25. The apartment had 3 bedrooms, one for the parents, one for Aarushi, and one for their live-in domestic help, Hemraj Banjade. That address, later known simply as Flat L32, would become one of the most infamous crime scenes in modern Indian history. Chapter 2. The day before the murder. May 15, 2008 began like any other day in the Talwar household. Rajesh Talwar spent most of the day teaching at a dental college near Delhi. Nupur Talwar worked at the Hauskas clinic from 9 am to 1 pm and returned home by around 7:30 pm. At approximately 9:30 pm, Rajesh arrived home driven by Umesh Sharma, a former employee of the Talwars. Because the apartment complex lacked a garage, Umesh parked the car at Nupur's parents' house nearby and walked back to the apartment to hand over the keys and work bags to Hemraj. At the front door, Umesh briefly saw Nupur and Aarushi near the dining table, and Rajesh stepped out of the bedroom. This moment, unremarkable at the time, would later become critical. It was the last confirmed sighting of Aarushi and Hemraj alive by anyone outside the family. Chapter 3. The night. What we think happened. What followed between 10 pm and 6 am is based mostly entirely on survivor statements and later investigative reconstructions. No independent witness saw what happened inside the apartment that night. That evening, the Talwars had dinner together and retired to their rooms. Aarushi's 14th birthday was just days away, and her parents gave her an early present, a Sony 10 megapixel digital camera. Aarushi was reportedly thrilled. According to forensic analysis, Aarushi took at least 23 photographs that night. 18 of them were deleted. The final photograph is believed to have been taken around 10:10 pm. Why so many photos were deleted remains unexplained. At approximately 11 pm, Rajesh asked Nupur to turn on the internet router located in Aarushi's room. Nupur later stated that Aarushi was awake and reading The 3 Mistakes of My Life at the time. Here, a crucial ambiguity emerges. Aarushi's bedroom door had a self-locking mechanism, similar to a hotel door. Once shut, it could only be opened from the inside or with a key. Nupur has repeatedly stated that she does not remember whether she fully closed or locked Aarushi's door when she left the room. She later called this moment the biggest mistake of my life. Rajesh reportedly continued working on his laptop, sending emails and browsing online until close to midnight. The laptop shows its last activity at 11:41 pm. The router logs show activity until 12:08 am. But investigators later concluded the router logs were unreliable. There is no verified account of what happened between midnight and dawn. Chapter 4. Discovery of the body. At approximately 6 a.m. on May 16, housekeeper Bharti Mandal arrived at the apartment and rang the doorbell repeatedly. Hemraj usually opened the door, but there was no response. Nupur woke up, tried calling Hemraj, and noticed his phone switched off. Concerned, she approached the front door. The entrance consisted of 3 doors, 2 metal doors, and 1 wooden door. The condition of these doors that morning remains heavily disputed. Bharti eventually entered the apartment. Inside, Aarushi was found lying on her bed, her throat slit, her head bludgeoned, blood pooled beneath her. The bed was neatly made. A sheet partially covered her body, positioned as though she was sleeping. The estimated time of death, midnight to 1 a.m. Bharti fled the apartment in fear, alerting neighbors before leaving for other work. Nupur contacted family, friends, and colleagues. By the time police arrived around 6:50 a.m., over 20 people had already entered the apartment. The crime scene was irreversibly contaminated. Chapter 5: Early Police Failures. Police found no signs of forced entry. No valuables were missing. No murder weapon was recovered. They did, however, notice bloody fingerprints on a bottle of Ballantine's Scotch whiskey on the dining table, suggesting the perpetrator knew about the hidden minibar and felt safe enough to remain inside the apartment after the murder. Bloodstains were also observed leading up the stairs to the locked terrace door. Police dismissed the terrace due to the lack of key. Meanwhile, Hemraj was missing. Police immediately declared him the prime suspect, theorizing that he attempted to sexually assault Aarushi, murdered her, and fled. This narrative was widely broadcast by the media within hours. Chapter 6: The Terrace Body. On May 17, one day later, retired police officer K. Gautam visited the apartment. Noticing the same bloodstains, he ordered the terrace door broken open. What they found changed everything. Hemraj's decomposing body lay hidden near the air conditioning unit, partially covered with a cooler panel. Bloodstains suggested he had been dragged. Post-mortem results showed Hemraj has been struck with a blunt object and had his throat slit, identical to Aarushi. Time of death matched. The theory of Hemraj as a fugitive collapsed instantly. Public confidence in the police collapsed with it. Chapter 7: Media, Motive, and the father's arrest. Police pivoted. Attention shifted to Rajesh Talwar. On May 22, Aarushi's friend and former boyfriend, Anmol Agarwal, was interrogated. He claimed Aarushi had told him about an alleged affair between Rajesh Talwar and colleague Anita Durrani. The next day, police held a disastrous press conference. They publicly suggested Rajesh discovered Aarushi and Hemraj in an objectionable position, murdered Hemraj on the terrace, drank whiskey, and then killed Aarushi. On May 23, Rajesh Talwar was arrested on live television. The media trail began. Chapter 8: Public Backlash and CBI Takeover. Public outrage grew over police incompetence. Evidence had been destroyed. The terrace was ignored. Media speculation ran unchecked. On May 31, the Central Bureau of Investigation took over. Their first theory focused on Hemraj's acquaintances. In Hemraj's room, investigators found multiple bottles and glasses, suggesting a gathering. 3 men became suspects: Krishna Thadarai, Rajkumar, and Vijay Mandal. All were subjected to polygraph and narco-analysis tests. Under narco tests, they gave wildly contradictory confessions implicating each other in various combinations. None were admissible in court. All 3 were eventually released. Chapter 9: The Closure Report and Conviction. In 2010, the CBI filed a closure report stating servants could not be charged, no outsider motive existed, only the parents remained possible suspects. Evidence cited: no forced entry, cleaned crime scene, surgical precision of throat cuts, Rajesh's golf club matching injury dimensions, terrace key allegedly withheld. Public opinion again turned against the Talwars. In 2013, based solely on circumstantial evidence, Rajesh and Nupur Talwar were convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment. Chapter 10: Acquittal and Unanswered Questions. In 2017, the Allahabad High Court overturned the conviction. The judgment cited lack of motive, absence of direct evidence, speculative reasoning, investigative failures. The Talwars were released. No one else was charged. Conclusion. Today, the Aarushi Hemraj murder case stands as a cautionary tale of investigative failure, media excess, and the devastating cost of presumption. Was it the parents? Was it outsiders? Was it a cover up? 14 years later, the truth remains buried and justice remains unanswered. That's all for today. Be aware, stay safe, and thanks for watching. Follow Blackroom Investigations for more such chilling cases from across the world.